Well, good morning, all of you beautiful love streamers out there, whether you're on Facebook or YouTube or Zoom, wherever you are. Welcome to the Center for Spiritual Living Charlotte. I am your host, Horace. And if this is your first time, we want you to know that we are so delighted that you have chosen to join us today. Because with modern technology, we are extremely grateful for this opportunity to touch so many lives, especially as we share these wonderful happenings here at CSL Charlotte. So please feel free to visit our website, cslcharlotte.org, put in a prayer request and subscribe, because we add our recordings to our website each and every week. So let me tell you about who we are. Who are these strange group of people? Yeah, we're the strange group. We are Center for Spiritual Living Charlotte. That's who we are. We are a new thought community, living in ancient wisdom philosophy based on the science of mind. The science of mind philosophy was developed in the early 20th century by writer and lecturer Ernest Holmes. Dr. Holmes was a man on a mission. He studied truths from all of the world's religious traditions and spiritual paths. Dr. Holmes developed a fresh new way for us to look at ourselves and how we fit into our world. He's been referred to as the great synthesizer. At CSO Charlotte, every philosophy is honored along with every race, sexual orientation, and physical distinction. We are a diverse, open, and affirmative community. There are many paths to the divine. We may call it God, peace, love, spirit, infinite mind, or the I am presence. But guess what? It really doesn't matter what you call it. But what does matter is that you know that this is your power that resonates within you. You do not have to leave your philosophy or nature of knowledge. You can join us anytime, because we recognize and refer to many of the Holy Scriptures, such as the Bible, the Quran, the Torah, the Upanishads, or the Bhagavad Gita. And that's just to name only a few. So our vision statement here at CSO Charlotte is to continue a spiritual community, creating and preparing a succession of future leaders who can fully integrate, teach, and expose the science of mind principles, messages, and practices that strengthen the mind, body, and spirit of each and every individual. And one of our aims is to create a high collective consciousness for everyone in this community. We teach everyone the tools to do just that. And so come and join us as we meet on Tuesday evening at our consciousness meeting at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And you're going to find out more about that when we talk about our opportunities and announcements. So welcome everyone and enjoy our service as we celebrate this powerful being which lives within each and every one of us. So before I'll pass the mic over to our illustrious spiritual leader, Reverend Rosedale, I want to leave you with this thought, because first of all, you need to understand her theme for today is drawn to perfection. The theme is drawn to perfection. And with that, I want to leave you with this thought. Perfection of human life is attained when one can understand that he or she is not the product of matter, but is in fact spirit. And with that, I'm going to pass the mic over to our fearless leader, Reverend Rosedale.
Well, if that don't beat all, Horace. Say that last word again. I'm gonna hold quiet for 1 second. Say that last sentence again.
Okay, so in fact, it's so good. I'm going to repeat it all over again.
Yes, please.
Perfection of human life is attained when one can understand that he or she is not the product of matter, but is in fact spirit.
Powerful. Powerful. So we are spiritual beings having a human experience. Boy, do I love that. So anyway, everybody, thank you, Brother Horace. Horace is our operations coordinator and our MC for the day, and I thank you so much for that beautiful opening. You really brought that home to me. So, to all of our YouTube listeners and anybody who sees us, even if it's not Sunday today, it's Sunday for you now if you're watching us on YouTube. So, welcome to CSL Charlotte, Center for Spiritual Living Charlotte, the Mind, Body, Spirit Center, because this month we always acknowledge all the nationalities throughout the country, anywhere what's going on. But this month is all about Latino Heritage Month, and they're celebrating it from September 15th, it started already, to October 15th. And so it used to be a week-long celebration back in 68, and then in 88 it turned out to a whole month. So it's nice to know that all these other different nationalities, what they do, because we are a community, as you heard Horace say, we are a community, a diverse community. We make no bones about that. And so we get to know all kinds of things about so many different nationalities and people. So we open up our celebration service with an affirmative prayer to set the tone. So today we have my beautiful, awesome, I can't think of so many words, incredible Dr. Wanda, because she and I feel that we have been drawn to perfection when we met, from the day we met. So today she happens to be the one who's going to be doing the prayer to set the tone. So with that being said, I know she's clear on being drawn to perfection and what it means. So if you want to know more about the authenticity of being drawn to perfection, put in a prayer request right now on our website, because our emeritus spiritual practitioner, Maureen Thurston, aka Mo, is always waiting to mail back your emails requests at cslcharlotte.org. So all you have to do is make the choice to submit a prayer request about anything to get an email prayer from Mo. And I always like to say, if you have not received a prayer from us, you didn't put in a prayer request. So that being said, welcome my beautiful Dr. Wanda as she brings her beautiful heartfelt words into our affirmative prayer and into our service. Dr. Wanda, please get started.
So this morning, as I pray us in, I give great thanks for the opportunity to do so, because what I know is that there is a power and a presence that is greater than any person, place, thing, organization, institution, situation, or circumstance. It is beyond anything that we could possibly experience here and now. Our experiences are simply spirit experiencing itself through as in each one of us. And so I know that we are each uniquely and divinely breathed into existence to be a part of a mosaic that is life itself. And I know that we are not our ethnicities, our gender, our color, our creed, our ideas. We are perfection personified. We come from perfection. We come into existence whole, perfect, and complete. And then life happens. And life happens because spirit is experiencing itself through us. And as it experiences itself through us, we have experiences. We have free will. We get to write our stories. And so today I know that we're going to edit our story by the end of this talk today, because we will have heard something, excuse me, that makes a shift within each one of us. And I breathe that in, because I know that as I breathe in, I'm breathing you in to my world, to my arena, to my spirit, because there's no separation. There is no separation. When I experience, you experience. When I hurt, you hurt. When I love, you love. Because we are all one unified energetic force known as the quantum field. And it is this quantum field that is constantly moving and growing in between each and every one of us and shifting. Even the weather. The weather is part of that shifting of Mother Earth adjusting herself. And so what I know is that we are loved, we are the beloved, we are the loving beings that we were intended to be. We can choose joy and light and enlightenment. And what here at CSL Charlotte today, what you will feel is the goal of CSL Charlotte, which is to enlighten, empower, engage, embrace, and hold one another as sacred. So right here and right now, I give great thanks. And I know that Reverend Rosedale is ready and prepared. I know that Spirit is already moving through her at light speed and ready to burst forth. And so I wait anxiously in anticipation for what her next words are going to be, because that is Spirit expressing. Spirituality is always consciousness expressing. And so with that, I simply say, and so it is, and I turn it over to a power that is just so magnificent. Like, there are not words. And so it is.
And so it is. Whoa, that says it all. That tells us that we are spiritual beings having human experiences. Thank you, Dr. Wanda. That was fabulous. So next, next on our platform is our reader, Jerry Campbell. Now, Jerry's AKA Groovy G, she's been drawn to growth since she started here from the inception of this community 2020 back in 2020. So that's why I see her. She keeps on being and drawing. She's constantly letting herself be drawn to perfection. She's also figuring out, oh, I like that. Oh, I'm going for that. So that's when you know the person's drawn. So when she hears her mind tell her those lies that she's inadequate or she doesn't, she keeps praying anyway, because she knows that she is on many levels now, that she's being drawn to perfection. So if you're open to her reading, you're in for a treat, because that is one of the major things you can do, is hear her voice and listen to her as she does it. So after Groovy's reading, listen to the song Never Giving Up by Fearless Soul. Now, Drawn to Perfection was somewhat inspired me to actually, the song Never Giving Up inspired me to think about being drawn to perfection. So Never Giving Up eventually makes me feel drawn to perfection. And it's the spirit within me. So Groovy, whatever you do, make it do what it do.
Thank you so much, Reverend Rosedale. I really appreciate having the honor to be able to share what you have written today. The title is Embrace the Journey Being Drawn to Perfection. It's time to make a change and start living the life we want. Never giving up creates a great life. Just realize that no matter how tough things get, it takes just 5 minutes to let yourself be drawn to perfection. Being drawn to perfection means there is a power within you that knows you're already perfect. Taking the chance to be who we're meant to be is being drawn to perfection. Letting fear keep us from trying disconnects us from the state of being. In spiritual practice, as you keep going, you eventually find yourself automatically drawn to perfection. Remind yourself that you are a spiritual being having human experiences. Simply remembering that all is well initiates your progress. With constant affirmations like that, you move forward and release any doubts, no matter how small they may seem. You begin to believe those affirmations more than you believe anything else. That's what makes it all happen. Trust in the journey of self-awareness and growth. knowing you are exactly where you're meant to be. In moments of doubt, turn your spiritual practice for peace. Whether it's meditation, journaling, or a quick or quiet walk in nature, find what helps you reconnect with your inner power. Surround yourself with positive influences and communities that uplift you. Remember, being drawn to perfection is about continually listening to your inner voice and letting it guide you, even if the path seems uncertain or daunting. So take a deep breath and remind yourself you're capable of amazing things. When you feel discouraged or overwhelmed, remember that 5 minutes of connection can shift everything. Embrace the journey with all its ups and downs, knowing that each experience brings you closer to being drawn to perfection. The following is a quote from Reverend Rosedale. Every moment is an opportunity to align with this perfection, to tune into that sense of peace and purpose. And so it is.
Never giving up. Yes, beautiful. Never giving up. Let's take a deep breath and just take 2 seconds to center ourselves into our own bodies, into our moment right now. And if you want to close your eyes for a brief minute, you can. If you want to put your eyes down in the lap, it's all for you. But do take that breath and really release that deep breath and let everything melt away. And just remember these words from Fearless Soul, because according to Fearless Soul, we'll take the chance to be who we're meant to be by not letting fear keep us from trying. And see, I take that position for me because that's how I'm drawn to perfection. Never giving up clearly states that it's time for me to make a change and start living a life I want. Never giving up created my life. I realized that no matter how tough things had gotten over the years, it just takes 5 minutes. You heard it in the reading what Groovy read, for me to let myself be drawn into perfection. It's up to me to see who I can be and make dreams a reality. But visioning makes that happen. You see, you dream. So it takes a good practice to feel drawn to perfection. So never giving up is an option and is also a choice. Whether you choose to incorporate spiritual practices to never giving up. So wiggle your fingers and your toes and integrate your mind, body, and spirit. And as you come back into the service, float your eyes around your room or your space and look around like you're brand new if you've never been in it before. You're new. And at the same time as you bask into your space and into your body, I'm going to take a gratitude moment and say thank you, Horace, for being our MC. And thank you, Dr. Wanda, for your incredible opening prayer. And then Groovy, thank you so much because the reading, Embrace the Journey, Being Drawn to Perfection, wow, definitely points the way to drawn to perfection. So now think about this topic, okay? Drawn to perfection. You see, that's a mantra. So the mantra drawn to perfection serves as a powerful reminder that we're always being drawn on a journey. Sometimes Groovy said I needed that reading today. I love it. Sometimes being drawn to perfection simply means experiencing visions that have been held close to our heart for a long time. Sometimes it is. These things, these visions, just things that we keep seeing or keep thinking that I'd like to be there, I'd like to be doing that. It's about being fully drawn into an experience or the experience that you've been envisioning. You know, right now, our pilot, Timmy P, is all about the country right now. He's out. Timmy P have been, I'm quite sure, he might have unwittingly decided that he's going to vision himself riding on his motorcycle cross country on his bike. And he's been thinking about it for quite a while because he's told me about it. And every time he did, he spoke with such conviction about it that I just expected it to be done. I can, right now, I envision him enjoying his time, going through his ride, and I see him enjoying nature and all the beauty that surrounds him. But here's what I know, though, about each and every one of those conversations that he's had about taking this country by storm by himself, right? Is he got a chance in those conversations to visualize himself more clearly. I'll take the chance to see who I can be, make dream a reality, because I'm never giving up. He's been talking about that trip for about, I don't know, maybe a year or two since I've known him, maybe before that. Now, I can't say for sure that he planned every one of his details with conscious visioning, but I do know he had to have spent enough time in thought to be drawn to perfection. You heard Dr. Wanda's prayer that we are drawn to this perfection that's already in us. And as I know right now and here that he continues his journey, we know that we can actually hold that light for him and enjoy his vision to make his dream that reality. So now he's exploring all the places that he wants in his whole 2 months time that he's chilling out there. So here's my affirmation. My power is turned up. You heard the talk, you heard Groovy's reading about that affirmation. Starting right now, after I say my power is turned up, starting right now, I am strong. What about you? You see, affirmations make us believe that we are so powerful. So instead of us resisting the flow and standing still and stiff, they help us to focus, to relax. Because you see, when you're stiff and strong and resisting, you can't relax. And then we begin in that relaxation to begin to move into life's natural rhythms, because that's what we are. That's how we release that load from the mind, body, spirit connection. Remember, I said in one of my talks based on research, it only takes 78 seconds in mind. Mind is all over your body, not just here. It only takes 78 seconds in mind to experience our vision. That's the truth. That's research. But you got to take that 78 seconds or more to be thinking about what you want. See, I love imagining how freeing it feels when I'm visioning on things and I allow myself to go, because right there I really realize that I'm being drawn to perfection. That perfection is in me. And also in there's a flicker of light when I'm drawn. And that flicker within me craves whatever it is, completeness, harmony, and relentless happiness. Those are the qualities that are woven all into me. It's the fabric of who I am, the things that I want to see in my life. How about you? You see, I know I feel it within myself. And what Groovy read in the reading I wrote, embrace the journey, being drawn to perfection. Being drawn to perfection means there's a power within you that knows that you are already perfect. You heard her. Imagine the liberation. You just got to use that imagination. Watch this. Imagine the liberation of you too being drawn to perfection. Just got to imagine it. You see, research in humanistic psychology has shown that individuals who maintain a confident mindset tend to experience better well-being and improved life outcomes compared to those who don't take the time to experience it in the mind. See, there's another thing. You heard the term placebo effect. Well, that is a guaranteed, well attested fact in medical science. And what it does is it shows how our expectations significantly influence our lifestyle or our physical health. What we expect, it influences our outcomes. On another note, fear takes us through a toll sometimes on emotional feelings, on health, and the dwelling on the fear and the worrying. It also deeply affects our health as well. So being drawn to perfection is not determined by those external conditions, which is where the fear actually comes from. Fear doesn't come from the inside. Love, confidence, courage, all of that comes from in here. But the fear comes from out there and you draw it in. You see, you don't want fear to be drawn to your perfection. You want to be drawn to perfection because it's about determining what you are, and it's who you think you are. It's not what that fear conditions you to think. You see, because life is going to have many challenges all day, every day, but they don't define us. Not by no imagination, right? They just don't. So instead of feeling overwhelmed, channel your energy into this already perfection that's inside of us. It's not just here, it's everywhere. Your heart beats, your liver, your kidneys, everything moves with this wonderful rhythm of life. But here's the deal. Spiritual practices like mindfulness, meditations, they help us to tap into this innate privilege inside of all of us. So when we begin to accept we have this privilege, we allow that flicker to get stronger and stronger so that we can get those insights and hear them and feel them, taste them, touch them, and begin to be drawn into that perfection. Or whether you call this flicker it's an inner flicker. You can call it God, you can call it spirit, you can call it source energy, but you can call it whatever you want. Just remember this, you are always connected to that perfection that dwells within you. It has never left you and will never leave you. And you know what? From the inception in the womb, the divine spark has been a part of me and you, and it's always waiting for us to fully embrace it. Always waiting. So it's not going to force you. It's not going to ask you to, or did you mean to say that to her? Did you mean to do that? Or are you afraid? Oh, I'm sorry, but you can't be afraid. No, you have to be the boss of this, because that's how you get being drawn to perfection. Just as simple as that. You see, we live in a world with a lot of distractions and so many demands that it's more important than ever right now to stay connected to our true essence. Because we have a true essence. It's not the one you think when you're not feeling good about yourself. Are you fully? Let's ask you this, because Dr. Wanda's prayer just actually said the same thing. Are you fully ready to accept the fact that you are spiritual beings, or we are spiritual beings having human experiences? Because I believe it, and I don't just believe it, I know it, because I have experienced it every day since I really sold out to this whole idea. I am totally sold that it's always been with me. And the secret to keep it strong is in reestablishing that connection that aligns us with ourselves. And all we got to do that, the reestablishment happens like this: talking to ourselves, thinking to ourselves. And so we can do it so much till guess what happens? We begin to see it. And after a good visioning that goes through you, be glad you saw that glimpse of your happiness, because it's just a matter of surrounding yourselves after that with a bunch of kindred spirits so you can share your ideas with them about what you think. And they're listening and they are just like that. Because research shows this one powerful thing. You see, affirmative, positive social connections greatly enhance our mental well-being and our happiness. And these social connections with these kindred spirits, like we do here at CSL Charlotte, we're all kindred spirits to one another, you know, and we stay connected to each other. But you know what? Being around each and every one of us, these kindred spirits, it keeps us connected to who we truly are. But the minute you step out and start talking to your regular common folk friends, you begin to forget who you are. Oh! But remember this: relationships built on authenticity. Oh, I love to say the word right. Okay, well, relationships built on authenticity, and okay, see, what happens is they help us to share our values clearer and create a sense of community and support. Very important. People live so much longer with social lives of people they care about, they support each other. See, I did my research on a man, a very prominent psychiatrist and professor at the Harvard Medical School, and his name is George Valent. Now, he had a book called Aging Well, and he stresses the importance of having supportive, like-minded people or kindred spirits. And listen, it's so imperative to us for our emotional support and our long-term mental well-being, as well as the health in our bodies. He led these studies of how these social ties amongst us began to even people in spiritual communities. He said, including spiritual communities. And he said it builds resilience in us. It builds us our well-being. It builds longevity. And those are the things that I just can't get over. You know what? He also spotlights, okay. He also highlights the value of caring for future generations. And you heard Horace mention how we're looking out for the future generations, because we really got to do that. And this is all coming from a scientist talking about how spiritual communities need to go down to the future generation. And did you hear Horace say that it's in our vision statement? He said that. And see, that rings true for me because CSL Charlotte is known to have that link to researching and reaching out to future generations when we can. So that's how that goes. See, the truth is, too many people today are not going for the growth. They're not going for the transformation or the perfection, for that matter. It's simply because, it's not because they're being mean to themselves or anybody else. They've only ever been conditioned to imitate other people. See, that gotta make us wonder, man. See, as we evolve, it's very, very important for us to know that we got to get out to those future generations. When I'm having conversations with those wonderful, beautiful, I call them millennials or whatever, I keep it real with them. I'm not afraid to tell them, oh no, I believe this and I know this. I don't say I believe it, I say I know it, and I tell them why. Because I want them curious to know, wait a minute. Because you see, if we can get them knowing what's going on, they get to know this stuff much earlier than we did. And you know what? When you look around right now at the spiritual communities today, you see a huge amount of people over 50 committed to this growth. But when you look around and you can't see that many 30-year-olds and stuff, it's time to wake up, everybody. And that's why we making this mark here at CSL Charlotte. See, we develop connections, and this is a very strongly connected community. And we do it through genuine conversation and communication. And you heard Horace mention about the consciousness meeting that we have. You see, we have the consciousness meeting every Tuesday at 6 p.m. Eastern Time. And so in our last consciousness meeting, it was a bunch of us there. And Shawnee, she's the person who loves to share, and she brings us together by her sharing, because I'm always hanging on to her words. But anyway, she left these comments that left something very powerful in me. She said, you know what? I'm going to notice the time every time. And then I'm going to make an affirmation. She said, she will say, and then I said, we will say. I was with her. She said, I'm going to make an affirmation and say the time. So, for example, it's 11 a.m. and all is well. It's 11 a.m. and all is well. It's 11 a.m. and all is well. She didn't just say it Tuesday night. She and I said it to each other every single day since then. She texted me as she was leaving to go for her travel to Myrtle Beach. She texted me again. I texted her yesterday when I thought about, no, not yesterday, Friday, when I saw all that rain, and told her it's 11 a.m. or whatever time it was, all is well. You see why we were reminding each other? This is a community, and we do these things, but we reminded ourselves, but guess what it does? It will quickly get me out of the past. See, I'm working on too many things, and I don't have time to get stumped on my craziness. And believe me, we got it in us. So our meetings that we have are very powerful in the consciousness meeting, and that's where we share the things we share, but it's very rarely done. So here's another thought. The mind-body-spirit connection is now a well-researched phenomenon. Trust that. And they're still doing that research. And see, it influences our mental well-being, it influences our physical health, and also engaging in spiritual practices that promote mindfulness, contemplation, and guess what else? Physical exercise. Oh yes, mind, body, spirit. So my daily meditations and practices turned into or evolved into rituals. And so they really serve me. And so what happens is I get up in the morning, maybe I may want to go outside and talk to my trees and just look at that. But that's what I do. So if you're ever thinking about that as I'm closing out, take time each day to breathe, pause, just stop and be present. You don't have to say anything. You don't have to be perfect in whatever you're thinking. Just tune into the insights that's coming into your mind, body, spirit connection, and listen to its truths, not the fears, the truths. Then allow yourself to be swept and to be drawn into perfection. So this next song is going to help us to fully embrace being drawn to perfection on our journey, because I want you to imagine this while just before the song plays. There is this flicker of flames of greatness within each one of us. And that means sometimes that little flicker can be going dim. But all it takes is one match to ignite an explosion of joy and happiness and abundance in our lives, and bow, we got an explosion. And this igniting will match everything that you've been doing with your spiritual practices and explode you into greater ease and greatness and peace and harmony, whatever you're looking for. So just think about that for a minute and listen to the song, Fight Song by Rachel Platten. Yeah, because I still got a lot of fight left in me. What she said, she said, I'm taking back my life. And she said, oh, did you heard the part? I love that part. That's what I love so much about it. If I only had one match, I could make an explosion. And that's what I meant by, oh man, I get the joy, the happiness, and all that good stuff. So guys, listen, the fight song gives me power to take back my life when I'm off track. What about you? So remember, if only one match, if you can remember that one match, if something's going down, taking you down, make that explosion of joy, happiness, and abundance in your life now. Because being drawn to perfection is a choice. Oh, Dr. Wanda, that was cool what you was about to say about perfection is not perfectionism. Okay, I got part of it. But anyway, so this time is the time, just about 5 minutes, I ask about birthdays because that's the day we came to be. That's a very important thing to us, to me here, that we celebrate each other, we acknowledge each other's birthday. So just jot down your month and your day, and that's all you need in the chats, or if you're on YouTube, in the comments, and we will shout you out no matter where, because that's your day, the day you came to be. We will know that's the day or week you became to be. So now I'm going to give big gratitude and shout outs to our platform people this morning. And this morning on the platform is Horace the Bush. He's our MC and our operations coordinator. He runs this community like a well-oiled machine, which is phenomenal. And then opening and closing prayer is our incredible sister, my incredible sister, spiritual sister, is Dr. Wanda from San Diego. And she is always speaking beautiful things into me. And then we got our spiritual harmony steward, Groovy, who did the beautiful reading, because she keeps everything quiet back there in the background in all our meetings. I call her the cleanup woman. And then she did that reading, boy. To me, she laid it out. I kept saying to Alan, she is doing that reading. So thank you. It was so good. What a great reading. And so, oh boy. And then I can't say too much more about my guy here. Alan, the right hand man, he did, Melissa's out, got a little bug, so he had to do the spotlighting. He and Groovy had to put together and do the greeting. So we did great, I must say, guys. This team here, this has never been a one-man band, will never be. And also he's on the music, and he's also making sure that he let us know where we are with our announcements. So Alan, thank you. In the meantime, I'm quite sure our chilling pilot is out there somewhere in the world, and he's like, knowing we're doing great, but we got our hearts knowing where he's at, and we know he knows he's going to be proud of you, Alan, because he's going to say, you got that. He's here. Oh, he's here. Oh, okay. So, that's really cool too. So thank you again, my fabulous team. As always, you always rock them, but it's one more person, and she keeps the community together. A community that prays together, stays together, and Mo makes sure she sends out our prayer emails. Why can't we say that this morning? She makes sure that our emails get out there. So make sure if you're on YouTube or wherever you are that you go to cslcharlotte.com, subscribe, and at the same time make sure you put in a prayer request. Things are going great, put it in anyway. So that's all I wanted to say, except for this. We're going to close out, but remember what we talked about today. We talked about being drawn to perfection. So just before Dr. Wanda prays us out, just remember what I said earlier about channeling your energy toward that perfection that's already in you, right? When you look at something or someone or in situations and you're looking for something that's perfect, affirm these words over yourself, and you'll say, and you'll see who's really perfect. Listen to this next song, You're Perfect, because you're going to be singing this song on the car, in whatever, but you just keep saying this affirmation, You're Perfect. Listen to the song, You're Perfect by Jami Lula. Oh, you know what I love about that song was when he sings in the mirror. He's looking in the mirror saying, I'll keep looking at you to keep witnessing me because you're perfect. You're golden. You're my life. You're everything to me. That's what you got to do. You're perfect. So now it's very easy to be drawn to perfection. And so now it's time for Dr. Wanda to pray us out.
What a powerful talk today, Reverend Rosedale. As usual, you allowed that spirit to just charge right through you today. So right here, right now, I want to acknowledge that there is a perfect God within me that has been awakened this morning. It is that perfection that is coming through as me, in me. It is the practice of excellence. It is not something I need to seek. It is at the core of my being, and it is put into the action of practicing excellence, the absolute recognizing of itself and making itself known in every action I've taken, every word that I speak, how I empower others by putting my words of love and acceptance and joy into action. This power causes me to see only the good. Ernest Holmes says that this power of seeing only the good is the practice that the soul will become illumined and it will acquaint itself with the energy I choose to call God and its infinite possibilities and vast potentiality that lies within each one of us. Perfection is my spiritual DNA. I am born with it. I do not need to seek it outside myself. To seek perfectionism is to seek something out there and puts us at the mercy of others. When we go inside and tap into that thing that is part of our DNA, I hold that spirit of constant gratitude, no matter what the outer appearance, because I know that challenges are opportunities to rise up. There is no room for imperfection. To think that there can be imperfection implies a belief in imperfection. I am not imperfect. I am perfectly an expression of the one power presence that breathes me into existence. It cannot create anything not of itself. Therefore, each and every person is perfect. And we have free will and we make choices and we are always becoming. We are all becoming more of the perfection, which we already are. Spirit only moves upward, outward, and forward. And I choose to tap into that inner perfection that is already who I am. And so I ask each and every one of you right here and right now to say out loud with me, I am perfect. I am perfect and I choose excellence in my life. Let's say that together again. I am perfect. I am already perfect and I choose excellence in my life. And with that, I turn these words of love and empowerment over to a source that only knows how to say yes to them. And with that, I simply say, and so it is, and I let it be.
Oh my God. Powerful. I'm perfect. Go ahead. Dr.
I
Wanda, that's
am
phenomenal. Do it again, Dr. Wanda, just one more time, because I had it, then I lost it. Say that affirmation one more time.
Okay, the affirmation is I am perfect and I follow the practice of excellence. I choose excellence. I am perfect. I choose excellence.
You for that closing prayer, Dr. Wanda. You are the bomb. Boom! Bomb diggity, boom! She just lit that match and it was an explosion. Bam! Go. Man, let me stop. Let me calm it down because it's almost time. We got to go, guys. I'm perfect. You're perfect. And I choose excellence and you choose excellence. Thank you, Groovy. She just put that up there so easy for me. So, guys, we're getting ready to close it out now. But you know what? I just want to leave you with a couple of words. From today on and forever, try to make that pact to yourself to make sure that you prioritize your spiritual practice and fully embrace yourself being drawn to perfection because you're already perfect, but it's in you already. So get your mind to a place where you can allow yourself to be drawn to perfection. It does take practice. This is not a one and done. But remember this one thing. Remember how far you've come. Don't give up and start going, okay, I've been practicing this for so long, okay, I'm tired. No, because you're not getting anywhere like that. But you know what? Just remember where you're going and how far you've come. If you could just look back and see how far you've come, you probably feel much better than saying, I'm not there yet. Where? So until we meet again, make sure that you allow yourself to be drawn to perfection daily for your mind, body, spirit connection. So that being said, everybody, have a great week.